So today's session started with 2 legs up. So my first instinct was I had to find the shorter term trend line. So I found this shorter term trend line first, and we have a break and a new high. So this was the first identification that I did when I first came to the charts, and then market just started selling off, and this is still pre-market open session. So I found the trend line, and you can see it fits nicely off the bottoms and off the highs. And the reason why am I looking for these trend lines is so they help me navigate what's going on the chart. And we have a break and a new low. So we have a break and a new high of this uptrend, and we have a break and a new low of this sell-off. So prices are right now playing perfectly as they should according to price action rules, and following the big players wasn't so hard. And you guys can see prices broke here with the new low, and you guys can see two big bullish bars. We spiked through the EMA. So this was the first sign that I was paying attention that there's a lot of bullish power in the market. A lot of people starting to buying after the new low, as expected. And we made a new high right here. Prices made a first entry long, pullback, second entry long. This was the two-legged pullback because market loves to move in twos. First entry long. Whoops, I cannot grab this. This is ridiculous. Second entry long, almost very close being measured. You guys can see we first trigger higher here, pull back, a second entry long. We don't want to take the first entry because this is not a high probability setup. And the second entry long, we closed above the EMA, and this was the first good trade of the day. I'll be honest with you, I didn't take this trade because it was still too early for me, and I wasn't paying that much of attention. But two-legged pullback, EMA is holding prices, and gigantic bullish spike happening right here. We ignored the EMA after breaking a new low, and the prices kept going higher. And so once again, I found the trend line. You always have to draw the short-term trend lines. They will, the trading will become much more simple if you just find the short-term trend lines, because it was quite hard to find a bigger pattern. You don't really know what's going to happen here, because this is looking like a range day. But now we are starting to trend above the EMA and prices are going up higher. But there is really no clear uptrend at this point yet. So if you're not sure what is happening, what is the bigger picture, because sometimes the volatility is big enough that the pre-market session will give you a lot of room and you will find the bigger pattern. But when the market volatility is quite slower and there is not that many bars, before the regular session open, you have to just stick to short-term trend lines. They're the best bet, and they're really useful, so don't neglect these. And we have a double top right here. We have a first entry long, pullback, second entry long, but second entry long triggered above this bearish bar, but this is way too bearish, and the next bar was bullish, and this would be good, but we were way too close to this double top right here. So if you end up with limit order, you probably would have get the scalp out. But the way I like to enter this, because the second entry triggered above this bar, and unfortunately this bar is not enterable. So if I see the market doing this, that the first bar is not the bar I want, because we are going for long, so we want a bullish bar, and the second bar is the bar that we want the bullish. I usually wait for trigger, one tick trigger above this bar, above the bullish bar, and then put my limit order at the close of this bar. So this is how I like to play it. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Once we get a one tick trigger above this bar and prices come back and hopefully fill my limit order that I put above the original second entry long that triggered right here, because the second entry long triggered right here, and there may be just bad signal bar on my chart. So traders may have a little bit different signal bar, so they entered here. So I want to be really sure. But once we made the scalp here and we now made a triple top, I mean, you already make the scalp and now you have a break and attempt to make a new high. You have a perfect double top right here. So I wouldn't be expecting to buy, right after this new high. And prices pushed lower, and I was expecting some sort of sell-off because we already have a break and a new high. Prices are, chopping up and down. But you can see each low is higher than the previous one, and this is starting to look little bit bullish, but still you're unsure. You're still just focusing on the short-term trend lines. You're following the price action, and we have this bar and we instantly traded up higher and we closed above the EMA, and then we have this higher low, nice bullish reversal bar, and once again, you now at this point on, you can find the support and we closed above the EMA. So I liked taking this trade. This was my first trade, and because we should have normally be selling off, and we should have been probably heading somewhere to around here at this point, and this is a range. But the way we pushed below the EMA, and we instantly, this was such a gigantic bar, and there was one more try by the bears to try sell the market off, and once again they failed instantly with such a nice bullish reversal bar. We closed above the EMA, and there is some support holding, and at this point on, you definitely have a new high. So this was a good, easy scalp, and I was expecting prices to get here. Unfortunately, the runner got stopped out. We have confirmation of this support, and you get a very similar setup. Once again, you get this higher low, just like here. You tick lower and instantly reverse. You tick lower, instantly reverse. Gigantic bullish bar. So this was very tempting to trade as well. And I'll be honest with you, I put my limit order further back because I wasn't feeling this trade, because we already made a new high here. So I knew that I was taking a little bit of chance, and I was banking on this support holding, because there is so many bounces on this support, and each time prices reverse strongly. Each time sellers try to take it below this support line, the buying power comes into the market, and a lot of people are starting to buying instantly. This bar and this bar, the next bar, instantly buying. And unfortunately, you guys can see I missed this setup, and by the time prices came here, I already canceled my limit order because we already moved. We already finished my target profit, and once the prices get your target profit and you're not in, you have to cancel your limit order, because it could have easily went down in the opposite direction. But you guys can see sometimes you have a break and a new high, and there's a lot of factors, so you just don't want to be selling blindly. There's a lot of factors that you are taking into consideration, and at this point on, this support is not negligible. You cannot not take this into consideration, because it is holding prices nicely, and prices are reacting, and each time we're closing above EMA. So this was very good, and so I will mark it because it is a good bar. And this is where I had my loser today. I got stopped out here, and I'm going to show you why. Because as a price action trader, and we're following institutions, and we're looking for the best setups, I was trying to find some bigger pattern here, because it was a little bit odd to me that we kept making higher new highs each time. So once we make a new high, it was obvious that this is just shorter term. This is way too short term. We need something bigger. And this is what I drew. We only get a few confirmation here, but the way we confirm it right here, this is why I liked this trade a lot. And we are working lower. We have a break, attempt to make a new low. And if you guys look at on the right side of the chart, this looks so nice big bullish bar, but nothing in price action is perfect. And this was just one of the cases that for some reason 9 out of 10 times is going to work, and this was the one case that it wouldn't work. But I will tell you what I missed, and I should have paid more attention. But this was my loser, and you guys can see prices have a break, and you have a new low right here. This is a double bottom and a new low right here. So perfect price action, and off of here prices reversed. And I'm going to show you guys what I have missed, and it was hard. I consider myself quite experienced trader, but this was the trend line that was the main trend line today. And what confused me was this overshoot, was this little bit overshoot right here. And when I first started this channel, one of my first videos was, I talked about it a little bit. Sometimes early morning session, the pre-open session, the Asian session, the early morning session, you can have a break of a channel, and the traders will not count it. Meaning you have a break of the channel very early when the channel is being established. So there is a break, but the traders will a lot of times not take that into consideration, because I don't know, that's just for whatever reason it happens. Probably because they just starting to trade the regular session, and that's the main session, the New York Open. That's where the big players come in, and that's where really the volatility picks up. So, and that's what happened today. And I should have paid more attention, because you guys can see we have a nice, look how nicely it fits here. You have a 3 sort of like a stairs, one push, and it keeps going higher and higher. You cannot ignore this pattern. It confirmed right here. We bounce here, we bounce here, once again confirmed here, and it ended up going right here. So I need to mark this setup because it is according to our rules. We have a break and a new low, so this downtrend has played out. It is at the key entry point. It was just very hard to find, and but it happens. So this was my loser, and I didn't manage to get this in quite in time, because this bar, you can see we didn't even trigger one tick lower. We instantly rallied up. This was a good trap. They trapped a lot of traders. They trapped me. They really, they really got me here. They got my money, and I got trapped here. But this happens still. Being right 80 to 90% of the times is still a good odds. And we pushed to the high side of this upper trend channel line, so you're most likely going to go to the lower side. So this is what prices were happening, but we're in an uptrend now, so don't be shorting, don't be looking for shorts. I mean, it is way too dangerous to be picking bottoms, because we want to find the highest probability setups there are. But first, we are working lower, so we need this downtrend to play out. We have a break of this bigger channel, so you know what's going to happen. Probably prices will attempt to retest this bigger pattern, the new high. But first, we need to pay attention to this, let this play out. But we still don't want to be shorting, because the bigger pattern is up. So the trend is still up. This is just a minor correction. Let them do their thing. We fine. There is a break. One leg to a new low, pull back, second leg to a new low. So from this point on, prices first entry long, pull back, second entry long, first entry short, pull back, second entry short. That failed. But I would love to see prices go above the EMA and then EMA holding and then make reversal bar. And this is still way too steep of a bearish move. So I still think it's a little bit too early. It is once again, you guys can see the perfect price action. Reversal pattern worked once again, even though it's not ideal. So I probably have to mark it, because it is according to our rules, because some of you traders, you really like to follow the rules to the T. And this was the case where if you follow the rule to the T, you have to take this. But I want to teach you guys. This is why I make these lessons. I want to teach you guys how to read the entire market, what is happening, because it is really helpful if you understand how the institutions, what are they doing. And you guys can see we rallied up higher big time. We would have had a gigantic runner, and we traded up higher. We were working up higher, and at this point on, notice I just had 1-1. I had one winner, one loser. So I kind of aggressively, I just mark it. I don't think it's a good trade. I just jumped the gun here, which I'm not too proud of myself. I kind of scold myself looking back at this. This is the new high. First entry long, pull back, second entry long. Once we triggered above this bar, I put a limit order in, because the signal bar is not that great. And I got my scalp quickly and easily. And I was looking at the bounce off the trend line, but you're quite far away from EMA. The only reason why I like this, because I know there's a lot of traders who keep selling this market, because they see this bar and they're probably thinking, the market is going to reverse. It's not going to go up forever. So they short here, it falls on them. They go short here, it falls on them. And, because when I was starting out trading, this is actually how I blew my one account, exactly on similar pattern like this. I thought the market is going to reverse any minute, because the move was so steep, and I thought the market cannot be that steep. So I was selling, and it kept going higher, So I kind of jumped the gun here. But I think the better setup was this. You have a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. That's according to our rules. Two-legged pullback, one rule met, break, and a new low of this bearish correction, second rule met. It is a break of this uptrend, so we are waiting for a new high of this uptrend. And we are waiting, for a new high of this bigger uptrend. Once again, another rule met, and the EMA is holding. We close above the EMA. So there's 5 rules, very high probability setup. If you're just patient and you wait for these high probability setups, your job will get much easier. And I wanted to take even this trade, and it really might feel like I'm just describing in hindsight, but really, trust me guys, this is really what was going through my mind when I was trading. I look at this as a breakout pullback. I was kind of seeing, this is what I was looking at. Something like this. And it was such a strong one leg up. And I knew we were going to get the new high of this uptrend, most likely. So we broke higher this trading range. We pull back and a nice big bullish bar right here. We tick lower, EMA held prices. This resistance that X now support is holding prices. This is a breakout pullback, and this is one of few cases where I like trading breakout pullbacks. Breakout pullbacks are tricky. They're definitely one of less reliable setups. So this is why I don't try to show you guys it that often, because they're much safer setups and much more easier to spot. But this was a breakout pullback, and the EMA is holding prices. And take a look at this. Once again, perfect price action. We have a one leg up. We have a little bit of correction and a second leg up measured to the very tick. So this is ridiculous how market geometry is real. It is almost a little bit scary that you can predict the market with such accuracy. But so we traded up higher. Unfortunately, I missed this trade as well because, you know, that's the danger sometimes trading with limit orders. But I like to trade with limit orders because they will allow me to catch a big runner. So I will miss few trades, but if I keep my original stop loss, original break even further back, you will catch much more runners. And you finally have a new high. So with this break at a new high, you know this uptrend has played out safely. You now can, you know, rest on your souls because this uptrend has played out, and you know that the big traders, the hedge fund managers, they're looking at it as well. This is what they're doing, and we're just following them with these rules. And prices formed a resistance here and a little bit of a support here, but you don't want to enter wrong because you're already way too up and you already made way too high and it's new high of this uptrend. But you don't want to go short either because you will be picking top. So the best case scenario here, just sit on your hands. If we have a little bit of a correction and then once again keep continuing higher, that's the time where you will jump on the trend and the trend will resume. And if the prices will keep selling off, that's when you will reanalyze the chart and start selling off. And you guys can see massive one leg down. And let me see if this leg is being measured as well. I haven't measured this. Looking very close to being measured. What if you count the close? Oh my god, look, very close being measured once again. We have a new low right here. First entry short, pullback. Second entry short, but you're inside of this trend line and you're a little bit far away from EMA. You have a break and a new high. You definitely touch the EMA. Nice big bearish reversal bar. Not that big, but it is a bearish reversal bar. Break and a new high. High probability setup according to our rules. It worked enough for a scalp. They came back. They triggered all the weak shorts. They triggered all their stops and they rallied the market lower because, you know, a lot of traders keep their stop few ticks above their entry. So they got back all their orders. They were forced to buy in, and early longs who went long way too early. Look at this bar. A lot of people went long below EMA after such a gigantic one leg down. If you're going to go long afterwards such a steep move down, you have to go long when you're far away from EMA because it will pull prices closer. EMA is pulling prices together, but not when you're directly into EMA. You're going long into support, and a lot of traders got trapped here. But you know, they just trapped early bulls into the market, and this is what happened. This is what escalated, and second measured leg down. And last trade that I saw before I started recording the video was, you actually have a second entry long right here, not nice, was you have a new low right here because this is there's a trend line. I didn't mark it. There is a break, there is the second leg, so this downtrend should play out and prices are reversing higher, perfect. You have a break, one leg to a new high, pullback, second leg to a new high. And this setup is very similar to the last video that I made, the live trading, the called thought process of a price action trader. There was a similar setup where you have a break and a new high of this bullish uptrend, and I was looking for failed second entry long, and this is exactly the setup. So new high right here, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. This is a double bottom, this is a double top, so you can treat it, you can count it both ways, but I like counting it as this new high because the way you push below EMA, first entry, second entry long, I kind of liked it. And you can see you pushed higher. Once again, people going long below EMA after this bullish correction played out. I mean, I don't know why they are doing it, but they're probably trading different time frame. This is the benefit of trading this tick chart. The tick chart will give you such a detailed information about what the traders are doing. It is really advantageous to trade this tick chart because you will get so much details about the prices on the chart printing that it will really help us. So first entry long, second entry long, high probability setup, once again according to our rules. And this was the last trade that I saw, and double bottom, prices right up higher, first entry long, second entry long, but this is hindsight. So this was the bigger pattern. And just remember, we're just trying to find the highest probability setup, and you just don't want to be the shooter who takes every single trade that is printing on a chart. You want to be smart, and you want to wait for the highest probability setups they are. So you want to be patient, and just because you miss a trade, you cannot let that get inside your head. That's going to happen. That is part of being a trader. So missing a trade, that's okay. There's going to be plenty more trades and high probability trades for that matter. So you have to be patient. There's going to be a lot of trades, and today was quite easy. I'm a little bit pissed that I had a loser here. Normally I don't get emotional at all, but this was so close because I thought this was exactly this would happen. This was exactly the leg that I was hoping to reach, but I just got they just trapped me. Nothing really much more to say. They just got me here, and you're gonna get hit. And just like in boxing, you're gonna get hit whether you like it or not. So you're gonna have losers whether you like it or not. If there is somebody on YouTube teaching you they have 0 losers, they're probably grifting the hell out of you. So just a reminder. But I'm gonna wrap it up. Keep working hard during the weekend, because I know I will go back through my trades and watch what I did good and what I did bad, and I will learn from my mistakes. So hopefully you guys will learn it too, so we can be better trader next week on Monday. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.